Welcome everybody to the Massive Nerdmigos original podcast. My name is Doragon. I am your host for this episode. I am joined by a new face that you will see here. This is the mighty Happy Ninja Rob, who did all of the recording and editing for our last full in-person episode. So, hi Rob, welcome. It's lovely to have you here.
Hi Rob!
Oh God.
Now I see why the intro says compass.
So, as you've probably noticed, there's no Wibble. We have actually just fired him. He's gone. We have Rob, who is much better, much more reliable, and has a beard. All plus points. I'm also joined by Lee, the ever great, ever amazing, massive Lee Gaming, but his camera's a bit fudged. So, we're leaving him be.
Don't want to lower the quality of the programming by having my fuck ugly face on the podcast. You're both beautiful, beautiful men. I, on the other hand, am not a beautiful, beautiful man. So I am doing the listeners and watchers at home a favour by not showing my face.
Why are you lying? I don't understand why you're lying.
I don't believe you for a second that you're not a beautiful man. I feel you are an incredibly beautiful man, and we should see your face if you can figure out how to raise it above 540p.
Yeah, there's that as well. There is also that. We'll work on it for next time, all right?
Yeah, for next time. Next time. So, usual housekeeping. This is a fortnightly podcast where we geeks and nerds discuss all things geek and nerd culture. This can range from everything from comics to games to TVs to general tech, music, and anything else in between that we geeks and nerds appreciate. You can offer your support to the podcast via our Patreon page at patreon.com/massive_OG_nerd_podcast. Any support that you offer will help us to keep expanding, doing things like this that you're seeing today. And the more we can do in the future, the better it gets for you wonderful watchers and listeners at home. Of course, you can offer the best support possible for free. Like, subscribe, comment on the likes of YouTube, Spotify, and anywhere else that you catch our content. And please keep us at that 5-star Spotify rating. It's wonderful. We love you, one person who's reviewed us.
Pretty sure it's me.
I'm pretty sure it might be.
But, I really enjoy the podcast, so, 5 stars for that.
Well, why not? Yeah, you enjoy doing it. You enjoy listening to it. Yeah, why not? Just let's go for it. So we are going over... Say again?
See, you are a beautiful person, Lee.
He is. He's a beautiful...
Yeah, see?
I'm a beautiful soul with a fuck ugly face. It's my Tinder profile.
It's a good profile, that one, mate. It'll get you plenty, I'm sure. I have no idea. So, on the agenda for today, CES has happened, and we're going to go through what caught our attention. There's obviously more to look at than we're going to be able to go through in this one, so it's just going to be our personal highlights of the Consumer Electronics Show. We're not going into full depth, don't worry. GeForce Now have announced a 4080 replacing their 3080 in their cloud gaming service, and Ubisoft appear to be imploding, so we're going to be discussing that as well. And maybe if he unfires himself at some point, Wibble might turn up and join us. So, January has come. That means we've got the Consumer Entertainment Show in LA. I think it's LA, might be Las Vegas. It's one of the lasses in America. And they bring all sorts of amazing hardware. Personally, for me, I look at the likes of mobile and computing hardware, but there was a boat that took my attention this year. Rob, I'm assuming you pay attention to like the camera and musical stuff that comes through CES each year.
I mean, I try to, but it's just such a it's like shiny things. It's just, it's just like, oh, look at that mad shit. So yeah, I should try to, but yeah, there's just inevitably get distracted by some ludicrous boat or bike that has a digital bell on it or some shit.
Yeah, there's always stuff like that. Lee, do you pay any attention to CES at all?
I literally found out it existed this morning when I looked over the notes for this episode. To give you an idea of my understanding of what CES is. Until you just said, I've already forgotten what it was you said, but until you just literally said what it stood for as well, I had no idea what it was. So
the Consumer Electronics Show.
The Consumer Electronic Show is a show that takes place apparently. That's all I've got.
Lee's going to have great input on this one.
It's the detail and specificity that you watch this for. Like that's
exactly. Yeah.
When am I the statistics guy? When am I the knowledge guy? That's not my thing. I'm here to say funny bits from time to time while you give the real information.
Fair enough. So, Rob, take us away. What caught your eye at this year's CES?
Nothing like the big LG TV was I think the one that everyone's kind of harping on about, which was LG have unleashed. I say unveiled, but unleashed.
Unleash the TV.
It's a 93-inch, almost completely wireless TV.
Is this the one that suctions onto the wall? Like you can just shift it and move it?
Yeah, it's mad. Yeah, it's basically just like, there's a power cable, but that's it. Everything else is completely wireless. I mean, it's not, is it? Because it's got to be a base station somewhere that you plug stuff into. But also, it's seemingly prohibitively expensive. So,
well, I mean, at 93 inches, that's like twice the size of the one I've got, and that takes up most of the wall already.
Yeah.
So you've got a wall of television.
Yeah, it's like Dubai oil money kind of TV. What's the market?
Probably Dubai oil people.
Yeah,
that's the market.
There you go. it ain't for us, that's for sure.
No.
I mean, there was another TV that I saw. I don't think it was LG. I can't remember who it was, but it had suction cups on the back, so you could like freely mount it to any wall, any window, any flat surface or flattish surface. It could be textured, but it was it came with like battery modules as well, so there was no power cable needed. There was no HDMI's or anything needed because it was a complete smart TV as well. So as long as you're not trying to plug like a games console or something into it, it could be completely wireless and mount and go anywhere. And I thought that was a fantastic bit of tech. But again, it's one of those no price. And it's quite chunky as well for just a TV in this era. Like it stuck off the wall a good fair way, but they're saying like the batteries, when used under normal circumstances, will last up to a month on a single charge, and then you just take one out, plug another in, and away you go.
Which is impressive. That's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, some of that I said this before, but I genuinely love looking at all the just absolutely crazy stuff that comes out of CS that I just look at and go, what? How has that come to market? For example, there's like basically some smart kind of, do you remember Heelys? Basically some smart Heelys. It's like, there you go, some smart Heelys. Now you can.
What constitutes a smart Heely?
It's just a fucking electric Heely.
I'd have gone down the
route. Can you plug some headphones into it? Listen to some music while you're fucking healing around.
Yeah. It's smart because it'll detect when you kill yourself from using your
built-in dial the emergency services button.
Yeah, detect when that wall is coming and maybe apply some brakes on like the current Heelys.
It appears the foot this Heely is protecting is broken. Would you like to close it?
It's so true though, isn't it? Like there's so many smart things. They're throwing smart into stuff that doesn't need to be smart as well. Like that's what always gets me with CES. Like
it's a buzzword.
Some of it is great. Some of it will come to market and is fantastic. A lot of what Nvidia brought to it, a lot of what Microsoft brought to it. These are great future of computing type things that they've brought. But then there's some stuff like Razer brought basically a 3DS on steroids. They brought a laptop with a full glassesless 3D screen, and everybody who's seen it is like, I can't show you it on camera, but it's creepy as all hell, and you can move around and see the 3D and such. And like, what market is that for?
I don't know. The other thing that I've seen that's come out that I've seen before, but has been also had some coverage at CES this year is that, have you seen the Dyson Zone? Dyson's latest crazy.
I've heard of it. What is
it?
So
it's a big set of headphones with an air purifier on your face.
The Bane mask.
What? A Bane mask.
Yeah. Go full Bane mask. Yeah.
Imagine wearing these, but you look like this. No. And so that's about where you're at, really.
Is it like what is it, like an air purifier type thing?
Yeah, it's a personal air purifier. So you just basically wear a mask on your face, and it just goes,
not
yeah,
breathing the same air as you.
yeah, exactly.
You merely adopted the mask.
It's basically I don't want to breathe peasants air.
Yes,
So,
you don't have to with the Bane mask.
Yeah.
What wasn't that born out of COVID though? Like the whole idea was born around 2020 because I know Razer have got one as well, but theirs has got all RGB and everything on it too.
Of course it
why
has,
do you not want to have RGB on your face?
I mean, I think that's yeah, and it probably made a lot of sense in like the 2020 era, but then as soon as it kind of went past that point and we're like in 2023 and they're like, yeah, we're releasing this year. Like, oh, okay, cool.
I imagine for places like, say, South Korea, Japan, China, where they've got an absolute metric ton of pollution per square millimeter, like it might make a lot of sense over there, and that might be the market that they're aiming for. And if they sell maybe one or two to cosplayers in the West, why not?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, for us in a Western, like especially, we're basically back open up. We're operating as normal as we were before the pandemic here in the UK. I know places like America aren't and such. I know they're struggling to get vaccine rollouts and what have you still, but like from our perspective, that mask, even from a pollution perspective, it makes near enough zero sense.
Yeah.
Just close the window here.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like a gross overcomplication of a product. but
Speaking of gross overcomplications of a product, that boat.
Yeah.
So there is a boat at CES, a fully electric boat. Now it comes on hydrofoils, and hydrofoils on any watercraft for me are phenomenal because it just raises the boat out of the water as you get faster and faster, and you basically feel like you're flying. I've used one on a windsurf board, which was the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, being like 40 centimeters off the water on something like this big was the weirdest experience of my life, but hella good fun. But that electric boat, they're like putting it out there and they're marketing it like, this is the future of boating, completely electric, lower your greenhouse gases, it's the most green way to travel on the water. I hear you, but I raise you a yacht with a sail on it.
Rowboat, fam. Easy.
Rowboat, sail power, like, just get out and push the damn thing. They are way greener and have been around for centuries.
I mean, paint any boat green, and that's greener as well.
There's also that option. Yeah, that flummoxed me. It's like, why? Because it's only got like 50 knots of range as well, which is just over 50. It's about 55 miles of range, which you're not going to be taking that thing offshore, are you?
I don't know why they don't just come out with the truth behind the matter. It's just yeah, we've released this product. What's it do? It's fucking cool. That's what it does.
We can.
Yeah. Like, it's a boat that's on aerofoils. We've made it all electric. Look at it.
Just trying to flex, isn't it? Like, you know.
Is it green? Yeah, probably. But do you give a shit?
Yeah.
No.
I know why I know partially why they've got to, because we've got this whole like G27 thing that by 2030 we've got to be producing only like negative greenhouse gases and what have you. And part of that is changing the way that we use our current modes of transportation. But like I say, just stick a sail on your existing boat. Like, if you've got the money for a boat, put a sail on it.
Well, this is it again, because it's not like they've come out and gone, yeah, we've released this everyday product that everybody can use that's going to revolutionise green industry and all that sort of stuff. It's like, no, it's a boat. It's
not a small one at that. It's not like you can save up for 3 years and buy it and go out with your mates.
Like, everyone's going to have one of these in a couple of years' time. Everyone's going to have one of these, man. Yeah, it's going to be everywhere.
You can just imagine it in all of those country songs with like a tire rim off the back sort of thing. I cannot see that entering any country song ever.
Yeah, they're not like, oh yeah, we've produced a brand new electric engine that's got like 200-mile range, that can, you can put on your bike. It's going to be amazing. Nah, it's a boat. It's a big fucking boat. It's
goes
really cool.
55 miles, which just about gets you offshore.
Yeah.
Maybe back if you're lucky. It's like, I don't understand who it's for.
No, this is the thing with a lot of the stuff at CES that kind of like 100%. It's wild, and you just look at it and go, yeah, it's amazing what you've done. That's genuinely great. But just be honest. Just be like, yeah, we did it because we could.
Yeah.
And
which is what I appreciate about Sony and Honda saying, yeah, we've made an electric car with a PlayStation in it because we could.
Yeah. That was another one I saw that just is like a passing one. Maybach have made a car with Dolby Atmos in it. Why? Why not? I guess.
How much is a Maybach? Because this is the ones that like the billionaires ride around in, aren't they?
Yeah. These are like the Mercedes for again. Yeah.
You take Rolls-Royce, you go across to Germany, and you've got Maybach. They're parallels to one another, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they are for the swanky of the swank, the people who get driven around. They're not for you or I.
No.
If I had that much money, I'd want Dolby Atmos in my car.
I mean, yeah. I'm shocked that they didn't already have it.
I do think that's probably more to the point. Yeah.
Everyone, they've announced it at CES, and the only reaction is. Now.
Well, I had mine retrofitted 10 years ago. I don't know if Dolby Atmos was around 10 years ago. One that caught my eye was the battery technology coming out of it, because this one actually will have real-world applications and implications. And there was one, I mean, it's a big chonker that they brought to CES because they were showing it off in like a camper van or something. But it's essentially a solid-state battery. So you don't need all these liquid electrolytes moving around to charge it up, because everything's just solid. You've got solid electrolytes, solid lithium ion. I don't know how it works. I tried to understand it when reading the article on it. Way above my pay grade. But what they were saying is what you can end up doing is taking the same amount of battery capacity that we've got now, but squeeze it down by about 2/3. So say your mobile phone battery, if it's, say, 5,000 milliamp hours, it can take up so much less space, won't get anywhere near as warm when in use, or they could keep it the same size and give you so much more battery life. And for things like those electric vehicles, whether they be cars, boats, aeroplanes, there was an electric helicopter, which I can't see working well at all. It means that they can have more capacity at a lower weight as well.
I mean, that's amazing. Again, they're one of those things where it's like, yeah, cool, I'll test out your electric car. If it breaks down, I'll be stuck by the side of the road and, all that sort of thing. I don't want to test out your electric helicopter. No,
I'm not in for that one. No.
Not yet. You can test that. That's fine.
Yeah. So somebody else gets to be a crash test dummy for that one.
Yeah.
Lee, I know you said you were going to be oddly quiet because you only found out about CES today, but... Yes. Listening to us, do you have any input, anything you want to say, anything that's sort of struck your fancy? Maybe a 600 hertz Razer computer monitor?
It sounds like I don't earn enough money for the stuff that happens here to be of any interest to me. It sounds like this might be a little bit outside of my pay grade. I don't have enough to buy some extravagant boat that's green. I don't have enough to get the Dolby Atmos whatever in my car. Don't give a fuck about batteries, really. So, no, really, if I'm being honest with you, I don't have much input based on the CES. I can't even remember what the fuck it was called again. The computer electronic shit. Anyway,
that's what was.
Before we move on, I've had a little quick scroll just to see if I could find any more mad shit that's come out. And one that's really caught my eye is L'Oreal were at CES this year.
Wait, what? I'm worth it.
You're worth it.
Yeah.
Worthless.
With their new product called Brow Magic, which will print the perfect eyebrow on your face. Any takers?
Like 3D printed eyebrows.
Yeah.
The future is wild.
Just I don't know how, but yeah. It'll print the perfect eyebrows on your face.
Is it like with one of the pens, or do you lie down and have like this crazy box over your face, like Dead Space or something? Or
unclear.
I am so very confused by that product.
if we manage to get one product demo on this podcast,
I'll be impressed with one product demo. Yeah.
Just that. Yeah.
Can we do that? Like every month we get together in person and try out like products and shit. If there's any like manufacturers or anything watching this, which there probably isn't, but if there is, hi. And you want us to try these beautiful men you see in front of you to try your product, send it to us and we'll fucking wreck it.
Yeah, L'Oreal, if you want to really put
limit, yeah.
I will shave off an eyebrow and print one on if I have to. I'll do it for the content, bro.
So L'Oreal, if you're listening, we'd be very interested in seeing your brow magic. Hi, Wibble.
Hello, Wibble.
He looks so happy to be here.
He looks so happy. And just to top it off, Wibble was so looking forward to the CES conversation, and we've just finished it.
And we've just finished the CES.
Spoiler, Wibble, the highlight is L'Oreal's brow magic. Yeah.
How are you, Wibble? You look slightly annoyed. that good.
Oh.
What the?
Mate,
why have I even got my green screen up?
Do you need a hug?
No.
Yeah, why do you have your green screen on?
Because I thought it was going to let me do. I thought it was going to let me do some stuff, like do some like green screen stuff and everything, but it just fucking hasn't, has it? Piece of shit.
New technology, guys. New technology. So, Wibble, quickly then, as you're here, what caught your eye at CES this year? What were you excited by? What did you enjoy seeing? And what made you go, why? What on earth?
That was the Happy Ninjas. Nothing. I didn't look at it. I don't know anything about it. I know it happened.
As good as Lee, then.
Me and you are on the same wavelength here, bro.
No, the new LG OLEDs. I'd always look at the LG OLEDs. It's nothing that I didn't expect. They're brighter, they're better. That's it. I just like to look at the technology stuff, even though now I've got an LG. I've got the last year's latest, the G2. So I don't really need it, but I like to look at it, but nothing else.
Did you not like the boat? The big green boat?
Yeah, the nice boat that was all green and everything, but ran on batteries.
I didn't even see it.
Stale power.
There was a whole. We had a whole.
I didn't see it. Me and Lee are too busy playing Viva Pinata. We didn't watch it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
love it. Right, moving on then. We are moving on to something that did actually come out of CES, but because I am that cloud gaming enthusiast, I wanted to put a little bit more emphasis upon it. GeForce Now, which is Nvidia's cloud gaming option, has upgraded their ultimate tier from the 3080 to the 4080. Have any of you three ever used GeForce Now?
Nope.
No.
Right. Okay, quick explanation. GeForce Now is Nvidia's version of cloud gaming, but it doesn't come with any games. So you spend up to 20 quid a month to get access to a computer that only plays games but doesn't come with any games. But it's a really good experience if you do buy any games and get to use them.
So we got as far as, well, I think we heard enough to ascertain that GeForce Now doesn't sound like a great proposition. I'll be fair.
I would wholeheartely agree with you, but so many people spend so much money on it and swear by it that it's got to be doing something right, yeah? Or
so assuming that you've
all
got
just cheap.
Maybe. So assuming you've got the internet to support the bandwidth that surely you need for something like that to surely cloud stream an entire PC, you pay a fee per month for a PC that you can only play games on. That doesn't include anything. That's literally all you get. Yeah. Pretty
much, yeah. So you buy your games on Steam.
Right.
So you can access your Steam library.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mute your fucking mic, Wibble. What the hell?
I'm bright orange now as well.
Man's explaining so we can hear his Wibble in the background.
Boom.
Fucking hell.
Rob can edit it out.
Yeah, we'll try and edit that one out. Yeah. So yeah, you can access your entire Steam library on it. They say, but they only are compatible with 1,000 games from Steam, which sounds like a lot.
Right.
But there's 70,000 games plus on Steam today. Like that keeps growing exponentially day on day, week on week. So there's some value proposition there, but I don't know what it is.
It's a very niche market, isn't it?
Very
Licking
niche.
its arse.
I feel like we were more productive until Wibble got here.
It's not my fault. I don't even know why I'm bright either.
Wibble, your mic is so much louder than the other two.
I'll turn me down. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, try that.
Yeah.
One, you're horrifically loud. Two, you are the whitest of white.
I can't get it right. It's not focusing. It's just your app. It's shit.
Wibble's face is brighter than my future.
I think Wibble's face is
Literally.
brighter than all three of our futures combined.
Yeah.
My light at the
That's
minute
better.
is there on 10% brightness. That's 10%.
Oh,
That's 100.
better. Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Where's the cat gone? I pushed on
He's
9%.
got-
There you go.
Where's the cat gone? It's burnt to death.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it's
Burnt to
cinders
crisp
in the
and
light.
No, you are going to see the cat in a minute because it's going to jump on the desk.
I see.
Right, carry on. Sorry.
Fine.
NVIDIA, GeForce. Yay.
In GeForce now, so
I'll mute.
so they've released a new proposition. Is their thing?
Yeah, so they had a £20 subscription version, which got you access to a pseudo 3080. Essentially, they were giving you a 3080 access without having to buy a 3080. Their idea was, if you experience it, you'll go out and buy one of them. Wibble, yes. You might want to
Question.
mute to talk.
No,
Go
I was
for it.
waiting. You know how it says we'll give you a 3080, a pseudo 3080?
Yes.
I know obviously it's in a server, but what else is in that computer? Do we know what else it's running on?
So
Good question.
it is the 3080 chip. So it's the Ampere GA102 chip that's in the server blade. It's paired with either 32 or 64 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM. And as far as I'm aware, it's an i5 12th gen processor or equivalent thereof. So they're not aiming to give you the ultimate of ultimate experiences remotely, because the whole ethos of GeForce Now up until recently was to give you that experience so that you would go out and buy NVIDIA products to put in your desktop, in your computer, whether it's a N.O.P, whether it's a laptop, whether it's desktop. That was the whole idea of it. You pay a small fee for a month's experience of it, and then you're like, yeah, I need one of those. I'm going to go out and buy one. And what they've now done is change that around. So that pseudo 3080 is becoming a pseudo 4080 for the same price. So they're not increasing the price for anybody, which is great. All of the other benefits remain the same or have improved. So you're now getting 120 frames per second at 4K visuals and stuff like that. But it's £20 a month for that level of access with no games. And
What can you access that on? Where can you access the? Do you have to have specific hardware?
No, it can be accessed on anything. I use it on, because there's a free tier as well, so you can just access it free if you so want to, just to get an idea of what GeForce Now is. And I can access it on Android because that's how I do everything, because I'm a weirdo. But you can also get it through a web browser, through a Windows or Mac app. You can get it on iOS. Pretty much anywhere is possible, even Android and Tizen TVs. So it's versatile.
Yeah, I mean the theory behind it sounds like, oh cool, you get access to a gaming PC for a fixed price. But then it's like, well, yeah, okay, that's cool. Okay.
Have they introduced a 4090 to you?
Not yet. I don't know whether they will.
They won't, because the 4080 is in a really shit position. It's bang for buck is horrific compared to what the 3080 was. for the extra, I think $200, I think it works out as something like that, or $300, you get a 4090. So they're not selling the 4080s at the minute. That the people are just like going, we don't want them, and then they're looking at other alternatives. So I think they're using the 4080s as that. The 4080, it's dead good. It's dead good. Use it, Luke. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got a 3080. I'm fine. I don't need to upgrade. I'm upgrading the CPU and the motherboard this year. So I don't know, but that's my theory on the 4080 tier. So now I'll shut up and let you carry on.
No, all input's great. Lee, anything to say?
Nope.
As Rob says, it's a decent proposition. The idea behind it is great, and the actual performance of GeForce Now is phenomenal. Like, anybody who's never tried cloud gaming, if you put GeForce Now in their hands, especially that upper end ultimate tier, it's going to blow them away. But the fact that you have to switch back and forth between Steam and GeForce Now just to see what is possible to buy if it's compatible with the service, it's very incompatible with the likes of Epic. There's near enough bugger all from good old games, and then things like EA's Origin and Ubisoft's own launchers, stores and such, like, don't even try sort of thing.
Right.
And for half the price, I think this is the thing that keeps making me question it, and we probably need to talk to someone who actually really pays for the service and uses it regularly. But for me, for half the price, for £10 per month, you can get Game Pass Ultimate, which still gives you cloud gaming, but you also then get the console and PC access as well. Yeah, and has games inclusive.
That's where it falls down for me, because it's like, oh yeah, it's a really cool proposition. You get a basically just your own cloud-based PC with pretty sick specs to play stuff on, with so many hang-ups that it just makes it seem really not as good as the competition. That's where it sounds like to me. I suppose I'd have to use it to kind of go, oh, where does it actually get the thing? But like you say, with Ultimate, you get all that, all the games included, you get all the cloud streaming, you get all that stuff, and it's all going to work.
Well, mostly.
Yeah. Okay, this is a bold claim, but yeah.
So yeah, like that's GeForce Now. They've upgraded. A lot of people who watch this podcast are cloud gamers. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit us up in the comments. Let us know why it's so good, what the four of us are missing, because Lee's literally got nothing to add to the conversation. Soundbite of the episode. So moving on to our final topic. Ubisoft are imploding as far as we can all tell. They re-delayed Skull and Bones last week. So this is the 6th delay of that game that was announced originally at E3 in 2017. And they also cancelled outright 3 unannounced titles. It has been blamed upon Mario and Rabbids not performing very well, and it has been blamed upon Just Dance 2023 not performing very well. Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft, has then turned round, put out a mass email to the whole company. So this is worldwide. So this is their Canadian studios, their North American studios, their French studios, their studios in Singapore, which are also funded by the Singaporean government, I may add, and said, you're not doing good enough. The buck stops with you. You need to make sure that we're delivering excellent experiences and games. And, well, this Friday, all the French studios are striking.
That's not like the French.
Rob's views are not necessarily ours.
No, I'm only kidding. I love the French.
Rob's views do not reflect those of the rest of the team. Yeah, I think
I stand
Rob in his first episode here.
I stand with all the people striking. It's just too cheap a shot to miss, isn't it?
So yeah, I mean,
striking nowadays anyway, innit? If you're not striking, you're not doing it.
You're not trying, are you? Yeah.
Can we take it in turns to go on strike from the podcast.
I was going to say I'm not even
strike
appearing
next
on the next
week,
podcast. I'm on strike.
Teachers have got strikes at the end of February and March.
Yeah.
I mean,
7 days, yeah.
it's.
Think of the
I get why.
children.
Like,
I do
the
too.
world is
Parents.
expensive.
I'm gonna know. Yeah, it's gonna be
And most
next
of these people haven't had
podcast will
pay
be
rises
coming
to
round.
match the world. So I get it, I really do. But yeah, with Ubisoft, it's a little bit more. I don't know about you guys, but for my money, the buck stops with the CEO. Like, if things aren't performing, if the company is failing, and by failing, they only made 700 million last year rather than the billion that they were forecast. It's no small amount of money. But if the company is failing, if the company isn't delivering for one reason or another, surely that is the top dog's problem. That is the top dog's fault. The top dog needs to look down and see what's working, what isn't, and adjust as necessary. Am I alone in that thought?
No, it totally sounds. Yeah, no, not at all his problem. No, it sounds like a complete reactionary response of just, well, this has happened. We didn't make enough money, so I'm just going to pass the buck to everyone else. Surely there's got to be some accountability. Surely.
Are they going to be doing a new Mario and a new Just Dance thing?
So.
That's the thing.
So, Lee, have you played Mario and Rabbids on the Switch?
I have not. It's sort of like XCOM type gameplay, isn't it? Like turn-based, shooter, which doesn't really, in my opinion, go with Mario. I know some people have enjoyed it. It just, if I want to play Mario, I want to play Mario, not XCOM. If I want to play XCOM, I'll go play fucking XCOM. You know what I mean? It just seemed like a really weird. Plus, the rabbits are annoying as fuck. Really, I don't know anyone who actually enjoys the rabbits. Does anyone actually enjoy the rabbits?
Just the Ubisoft CEO.
I can't say I've ever played a game with them in. Like, the fact that they were thrown in with Mario actually turned me off playing that game. I think a Mario XCOM style thing could work, but when you add the rabbits,
how did they get into Mario? Like, did they not come from Rayman or something?
Yeah, Rayman.
Where did that?
Rayman, Raven, Rabbids, or whatever it was.
So are we now living in a universe where we're saying that Mario, Rayman, and the Rabbids exist together? Like, what is that canon?
I don't know. I've not seen. Has anyone seen Mario and Rayman in the same building? Until that happens, I'm not believing it.
I think they're the same person. I've never seen them together. No.
Oh, right, okay. Or are the Rabbids just some sort of cross-universal planeswalkers? Is that
from what I saw narratively in the Mario and Rabbids games? Apparently, somebody somewhere gets shot through a wormhole and they all wind up together.
Don't validate what they're doing as narrative. Fucking hell.
I don't get why they're blaming it though. Like, they released it on a single platform. I know they're used to multi-platform releases. They're used to they're releasing PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and sometimes Switch, depending on the type of game. So they're used to a much bigger sort of catchment area. But it did well for a AA title. Let's be honest, it's not a AAA game, Mario vs. Rabbids, is it?
No.
Would think not, no.
I'd probably
think it's
put
just
it
a
at
scapegoat.
It might be a scapegoat. But it's like they're blaming Just Dance as well.
I mean, when did Ubisoft last make a good game?
In my personal opinion,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Jesus Christ, stop yelling at me, Wibble.
Wow, Wibble.
Oh yeah, it's gone back up loud. Sorry.
My fucking ears, man.
Every time.
But yeah, I myself don't play any Ubisoft games really, because I think most of them are shit. I've never really been one for Assassin's Creed, so apart from that, I don't really think. What else did Ubisoft make? Did they make Watch Dogs? That was gash.
They make Watch Dogs, they make Far Cry,
Okay, Far Cry was good up until about 4 or 5. I can't remember which one.
4 was a reskin of 3, but 3 was still fresh enough that was okay for me. Yeah. Then they did 5, then they did 2 sort of spin-offy ones from 4 and 5, and then they did 6, and they were all the same. They were all 3 just reskinned.
Yeah, but 3 was great. Like
3 was great, yeah, but do it another 5 times, it's not so great. It gets quite boring at that point.
I wish they'd just make a full, like, feature-length version of Blood Dragon. Did anyone play that?
Oh, was that the like futuristic game type?
Cyberpunk, yeah, synthwave one, yeah.
It was Kung Fury, the game. It was amazing.
Pretty much was,
yeah. Your cat has
pussy out on
very interesting.
Boys. He's going now. Let me go let him out.
For me, the last time Ubisoft released a good game was 2017, and that was Assassin's Creed Origins. It was fresh for the series. It was fresh for the
6 years ago.
And it was an actual good length as well to do everything in it in this big RPG world. I'm not making any bones about it. It was big. It was long. It was about 100 hours to do everything in it, which I thought was a nice time investment.
So maybe Ubisoft's problem isn't Rabbids or Just Dance. Maybe Ubisoft's problem is they haven't released a good game in 6 years.
They're like, so my problem with Ubisoft is they're like, you know, like when you were a kid and you told your nan you like Mars bars, and then you got Mars bars for every single birthday and Christmas for the next 7 years.
Yeah.
They're like that. It's like, oh, that thing you did in Far Cry was pretty cool. Was it? Oh, man, we're going to dine out on that for the next 11 years.
You know how that open world of Far Cry was amazing? We'll put that in all of our games. We'll put it in Ghost Recon. We'll put it in Watch Dogs. We'll put it in Rayman.
Oh, that thing that you did with the watchtowers, that was quite original and cool. Was it? All right, sweet.
We'll put that in every single franchise that we release. I think that's the biggest problem. I think you've hit the nail on the head. That sort of homogenizing of the franchises. The fact that, at least in the last few years, whatever they've released has felt identical, just with a different skin upon it.
And I think you see this in all the sort of reviews as well. You hardly ever get people saying like, oh yeah, this was like that title, that franchise. It's like, this felt like a Ubisoft game. And it is a Ubisoft game. So you've played one, you've kind of played them all with different sprites, almost, don't you?
Except maybe Just Dance, because that is actually a different thing.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed Just Dance when I played it.
Just Dance is great, which was why when you said, "Oh, Just Dance didn't do that well," I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Yves Guillemot said it underperformed.
Oh, okay.
They were still releasing Just Dance on the Wii until like 2020. Like, I'm not even lying. They were released on the fucking Wii.
But this is where they're like, because I mean, I don't know what version of Just Dance I've played recently, but you can still get song packs for it. So why would you buy Just Dance 23 when you've got like? It's not like they've got new players. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like the team rosters have changed. What's new?
Okay, so here's the big thing. Like, from that email that Yves Guillemot sent round, and from interviews with people who've leaked it and what have you, like, they said this week that at one point in the past 5 years, there were 12 battle royales in development at Ubisoft, because Yves Guillemot wants this persistent thing. He wants a Fortnite for Ubisoft. Like, that is his dream, because then it's just perpetual money rolling in, isn't it?
So make something original then.
No. Just do it with Just Dance.
Wow. What, Just Dance Battle Royale?
Or just have like Just Dance and then just release songs as separate. Yeah, that
have that as your perpetual game. Have that as the constant money earner.
They have that.
Yeah, they have.
So why not
just get like a subscription for all the songs and that? Because we found when we were looking at buying it for the party last year, we ended up getting the most recent one, but it didn't have that many songs. And then we found that you could get the previous edition and then get like an add-on pack that had like all the fucking songs in the world.
And this is my point. Why would you buy Just Dance 23? Why not just have Just Dance? And it's like it doesn't need to be a yearly cycle. Make it a 5-yearly cycle and sell a subscription.
Yeah, like if you want to upgrade the engines, if you want to upgrade the motion tracking or whatever. Controller.
I had no idea. I thought it was just a Switch exclusive now.
Just stick it on all of the consoles. Like you say, just reinvent it every 5 years. But the 5 years in between, do song packs. Do an artist pack. Do a style pack. And you'll get loads of people just giving little bits here, little bits there. And those few £5 here and there, they add up really quickly. And that could easily be Ubisoft's cash cow long-term game. Because
100%.
It's fun, it's a party game, it's stuff that people will dip into and out of and happily pay a bit of money for.
I agree. I 100% agree. It's not like there's any other, like, no, certainly not as good, like, dancing games out there at the minute or anything like that, so...
I think the best I've seen is someone playing Elden Ring with a dance mat. That is the closest to another dance game I've seen.
That was mint. That was so cool.
That was amazing, but that is the closest to another dance game I have seen. Like, they've got at the corner of the market.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You can't take something like Ghost Recon, this stealth squad-based tactical army game, and force it into a Fortnite shape. It doesn't work. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to take these franchises and make them all into a perpetual, everlasting game. They started it with Assassin's Creed Odyssey. They wanted it to be this big game with big DLC, with big microtransactions. They've only just finished Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which was launched in 2020.
Yeah.
3 years later, they've given us the ending to the story. And it's a single-player offline game.
Yeah, and these are the things that turn me off. These kind of... I've not played an Assassin's Creed game since Syndicate. I think it was the last one I forayed into. Because it just turns me off them, quite honestly. I see all these things with like, oh, it's big DLC and all that sort of stuff. That's not the kind of game that it was supposed to be. It's not the kind of game that the original franchise was, and they've just warped it into something that they could cash cow, but just make something new, do something different. The reason that Fortnite is such a cash cow for Epic is because they created it as it's a free to play thing, and people buy battle passes, and it's ludicrously popular because of that. So make something different, make something new that's not. Don't try and fit your other stuff into that model. It doesn't work.
Yeah, Webbs, you've been oddly quiet.
I like Anno 1800. There you go. That's an Ubisoft game. It's completely different to all the others. It's a builder, and it's a simulation. It's a city simulation, and it's a life simulation. I like that kind of thing. That's at the minute the only Ubisoft game that I'd play, as opposed to Just Dance. Yeah, just get the subscription model, make that your cash cow. You're not going to get another Fortnite. No.
I think the industry trend's moving as well. We're not after battle royales anymore. A lot of people, it's these, like, in that sort of genre, it's the extraction shooters like Escape from Tarkov and Co. They're the ones that are currently taking off. So yeah, trying to chase a BR now or a persistent live service. The reason Destiny is lasting as an FPS live service is because it was the first. Yeah, if it had come out later, it probably wouldn't be anywhere near what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the likes of, what was the one that we played that was kind of a live service, post-apocalypse shooter
Anthem.
thing? No, Anthem was...
My Little Pony Survival Squad.
Anthem, yeah, that's the one, Lee. That's exactly the one, yeah.
There's been that many, I don't rightly remember.
No, but this is the point. There's been that many that you don't rightly remember. That is basically the point. Like, yeah, they're just nameless now, aren't they? They're just like, well, who cares? It's another failed live service game.
Yeah, it comes down to the quality of what you're releasing as well. They put out a live service free-to-play sports game last year called Roller Champions. It's got one map.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's got one map and one game mode.
Oh.
It's basically roller skate basketball. Brilliant. But there's only so many times you can do an oval roller skate basketball thing.
I'm going to be honest, that sounds like they were trying to get Rocket League. That's but on roller skates.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Difference is Rocket League's fun.
To
an extent, I guess.
Yeah, again, that's another.
And you've got Knockout City as well there in that space as well. So
yeah, a dodgeball, like 3-person squad up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ubisoft need to just sit back, assess what games they've got, assess what games they want to do, and then move forward there, because at the minute this theory that they've got, or this plan that they've got, it's proving it's not working. They're saying they're big hitters. You normally put Mario in anything and it's a hit.
It's a surefire.
That's underperformed. Yeah. Just Dance. The amount of people that do a Just Dance game or a dance game at some point, it's huge, and that's underperforming. Now, is it underperforming because of fatigue? Is it underperforming because they don't know where to go with it, but they're just throwing everything at it? Like Lee said, you could buy the latest version, or you could buy the previous version with all the songs on. It makes no sense. So they're just after a cash grab with the next one, the 2023 one, instead of 2022 with the subscription. Just do that. But they really need to reassess. And as for Skull and Bones, I've had enough of that. I don't want to mention that anymore. I was dead hyped about it in 2017. I'm not hyped about it at all. And then now it's had its, what did you say, the sixth?
Just play Sea of Thieves, bro.
Yeah.
What the thing for me with Skull and Bones is, one, it's not what they first told us it was going to be. And two, if you want a good pirate game, they released it 10 years ago. It's called Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
But is that one not what Skull and Bones
The same company have already done it better.
Yeah. That's what they're trying to emulate, though, isn't it?
The fact you can't get off your ship.
Mm. Yeah.
And then every time they delay it, they give us a gameplay preview of it. It's like, don't delay it and then show us what it is.
Just play Viva Pinata and it's done, and Genshin Impact.
Yeah,
Just play Viva Pinata, yeah.
I like. There's a theme with every. What's the takeaway from every episode? Just play Viva Pinata. Don't worry about it.
Play Viva Pinata. Wibble's been fired. Viva Pinata's ace, and Lee's in his wank pit. Yeah.
It makes you happy.
This is the official Viva Pinata podcast. Didn't you guys get that memo?
Yeah.
We fucking changed it up now.
It just playing Viva Pinata makes me happy. It's just such a whimsical game that I can just spend hours on, and I'm just happy. I don't get stressed. Worms are there. Worms are having sex. Sparrows are having sex. I'm happy.
When did Viva Pinata launch?
Fuck knows. It was on the 360 though.
Yeah,
so
it was
a long ass time ago.
Talking a long.
I'm pretty
time
sure,
ago.
wasn't it not a launch title? I'm pretty sure it was a 360 launch.
It was very close to a launch title, yeah.
So there you go, Ubisoft. If you want to know how to do a game right, one that's got longevity, one that keeps people coming back, that doesn't rely on all these microtransactions and, focus group buildings, look at Viva Pinata. That did it right. Look at Halo 3.
2006.
2006. Yeah. They made a better game than Ubisoft have been able to make in the last 6 years combined.
It's because Rare made it.
Yeah.
Rare made it at a time that Rare made good stuff. That's not.
I was going to say the good Rare made it.
Yeah, the good Rare made it. Good Rare made it.
Look at Bungie and Halo 3. That outsold 3 different Call of Duties.
Yeah,
that
and then you look
at the top of sales charts for 3 different Call of Duties.
But then we come on to a wider problem, which is it a Ubisoft problem or is it just an industry problem? Because if you take Halo as an example, look at the latest Halo launch. That was.
Well, it wasn't made by Bungie. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah, but it was problematic, to say the least.
It did the same thing. It tried to take a formula, something that worked, something that had an existing and ravenous fan base, and mold it into something else. The reason Halo 3 was so good is they had this vision. They wanted to make the best possible first-person shooter party game they possibly could. That was the only mission statement. And they did it. All these years later, Halo 3 is still that. It is the ultimate FPS party game. Because you had all these different facets working together. You had the campaign stands, you had the PvE gods, the PvP gods, you had the forgers, you had the custom gamers. Like, you had all of these people coming together and creating something beautiful. But when you've got people making the games now in the same series, but they don't understand how to cater to all of these different aspects of that fan base, you end up with generic crap like we got with Infinite.
I mean, yeah, that was the thing with Infinite for me. It came down to it took everything away from what Halo was with, it's amazing gunplay. You got all these weapons to, experiment with and play with and, pick anything up and it's going to be a fun, interesting experience, to everything's behind some sort of grind. the open world's not really got a lot to do in it. If you want to campaign it, that's not going to be too much fun. Oh, you want to do multiplayer? Be prepared to spend hours and hours grinding to get anything decent weapon-wise that you want to use. That's not what Halo was, is it?
Fun fact, I've never completed or played a Halo game.
Should go back and do Halo 3. Halo 2 and 3.
Halo 3 is incredible. You can sit that and play that through in one fucking night.
Really
Yeah.
is.
I did play Halo 3 on the Xbox.
Yeah.
I got to something like I had to drive something,
Yeah.
and then I couldn't drive it. It was ridiculous shit controls to turn it off in a right bad mood. I never played it since.
Check out the remastered collection or whatever they did, the Master Chief collection.
Yeah, the Master Chief collection.
Go back
Can't
and
we
do
do
You won't
4-player
regret it.
campaigns on that?
Oh, possibly.
Could the four of us go in and get Wibble through Halo 3?
100%, yeah. Do it in
Yeah,
an
man.
evening. It'd be
Yeah,
mint.
let's do it. Let's get Wibble through Halo 3. There we go. That's what's coming out of this podcast. Has anybody
Special
got
edition of
anything
the podcast.
to add on the implosion? Yeah, or additional podcast, yeah. Anybody got anything to add about the implosion of Ubisoft?
I do not.
It's imploded. Boom! Oh, no, moob. It's an implosion, isn't it?
You say moob?
Boom.
I did say moob. I did boom backwards. It's an implosion.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, love it. Love it.
I don't
Right, well,
think there's
thank
anything,
you everybody for
anything to add.
tuning in. Rob, where can we
Right.
find you around the internet? What do you get up to? What do you do?
You'll find me on all of the Jesse's Divide channels, and you will find me on the likes of Twitch and YouTube, but you won't see anything. You won't see anything there. I'm Happy Ninja Rob on all of those things, but you won't see anything.
Wibble, who's changed his name yet again. Where can we find you around the internet?
Wibblesniff01. Everywhere.
So not Wibble Michaels.
No.
Okay.
Yet.
The one I always regret asking this, but Lee, where can folks find
Hello?
you around the internet?
You can find me under the username Big Boy Roy on Pornhub.com.
I knew that
It's true.
somewhere. Thought so.
Yeah, something somewhere along that. We knew it was going to happen. Otherwise, for the podcast, you can find us anywhere on your favourite listening platforms at M.N.O.P Podcast. Same here on YouTube. Do the usual engagement stuff if you can. Hit any of the links down in the description. You'll find all of us down there. So links to the amazing Rob, who does some great music with Jesse's Divide. Wibble, who does some MMO stuff. It's good. I just don't understand it. And Lee, who is just
I don't.
a bit of a MILF hunter because he's off to Prague
Big-
soon to find one.
Big Boy Roy. Big Boy Roy sits on his toy. It's got 3 views. It's been on
Roy.
9 days.
All links in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, guys, have yourselves a fantastic day and take care.
I hear voices in my head at night.
Where do we find you?
Oh, yeah, you find me at Duragon86 everywhere.
Too late now! Program's over. Get in the bin. In the fucking bin.